In today's rapidly changing cybersecurity landscape, staying ahead of emerging threats and adapting to market dynamics is crucial. Dean Sysman, co-founder and CEO of Axonius, is joining us today to dive deep into the strategies that are shaping the future of cybersecurity, how Axonius plans to deploy its recent $200 million in funding, and how they're positioning themselves to remain at the forefront of the industry. Only on Taking Stock.
And it's a reminder that the more we utilize technology, right, the more our organizations are trying to move fast, the more they need the security. And what Axonius does, which is give the visibility over all the other tooling, all the other things that they're using in their environment.
Since your funding round of $2.6 billion earlier this year, talk to me about how your company's priorities have changed, if any.
High valuation companies or high growth, let's call them pre-IPO startups that are at scale, have really had to shift their understanding of how they balance growth versus efficiency over the last couple of years with the inflation in the market, the downturn in tech stocks. But I think the most important part to understand is that the market need for some of those companies, obviously ours, and we see organizations really need our solution, really need the solution to the problem because they're continuing to embrace technology, they're continuing to see cybersecurity risk. And the fact that we were able to raise, again, the beginning of the year, the same valuation that we raised in early 2022 was something that we wanted to signal to the market of how well we're doing, how well we're still growing, and how well we see our future as one of the leading cybersecurity vendors in the world, and hopefully becoming public one day as part of that journey.
Now let's talk about between platform consolidation and best of breed tools. What have you seen IT and security teams really focus on, especially with challenges as they arise in the market?
So there's been a lot of discussion into how the bigger cybersecurity players like Palo Alto Networks, like CrowdStrike we mentioned again, Microsoft and others, have these really broad platforms of a lot of different products that a lot of companies have consolidated towards by reducing the amount of tools they had, reducing the complexity. But then there arises the challenge of those tools might not be the best of breed, that might not be the best available tool for the problem that they're experiencing. But now organizations are stuck between this trade-off of, do I work with less vendors, more established companies, or do I still have the best tooling and the best value or the best solution for the problems that I have technically? And what we've seen in our platform is the ability to connect those tools together.
M&A is a big trend right now in the cybersecurity sector. So talk to me about what we should expect and how that will impact the market.
I think like we talked about before with valuations, I think there's a realignment around how startups and how other companies are thinking about their valuation and how they're thinking about their multiples compared to revenue, just like the public companies are facing in the public markets that we're seeing multiples really contract over the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. But the question is, what does the future say for us about the multiples? And cyber is one of the most durable category in the markets right now. And I think that startups and late-stage companies really need to think about how they grow to become a more at-scale player and be able to get to that level, to be able to go public or be able to be an independent company. And I think a lot of startups that didn't know where their future lay are now realizing that an acquisition might be a great opportunity for them.
Amazing. Well, thank you for joining me on Taking Stock.
Thank you very much for having me.